All right, hello and good morning. We're going to find the point slope form and slope intercept form. So here we go. Point slope is going to be y minus the y. Now if you use 4 or negative 4, that's your x. So that would be wrong. So it's going to be y minus a negative 5. Remember, it's the second one. X, y. Y minus y equals the slope times x minus your x. Okay, so you got to switch these. Now this becomes a plus, this becomes a plus, and then you're done. Any questions on how to do point slope? Okay? Now, we're going to solve this equation for y. So yesterday, I told you how to do that. Your denominator is a 2, so circle that. We want to multiply this whole thing by 2. Let me get rid of that 1. So we're going to multiply by 2. So 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 5 is 10. When you multiply this side by 2, the 2's cancel, and you get 3 times x plus 4. Okay? That's the whole purpose of that. Now, you don't multiply the inside because this will be multiplied to the inside. So you don't do it twice. So now you're going to get 2y plus 10 is equal to 3x plus 12. You're going to solve that equation for y. You're going to subtract 10. So you're going to get 2y equals 3x plus 2. And then you're going to divide by 2. And you get y equals 3 over 2x plus 1. And there it is. This is called slope-intercept form. And that's what we did yesterday and the day before. So point slope and slope-intercept form. Any questions on that right there? All right, let's move on. This one right here, I want you to work it the same way. So you got to do your slope, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. The second and fourth go at the top. So negative 5 minus a negative 7. And then negative 4 minus a negative 6. So this is slope, so it's negative 5 plus 7. And this is a plus, so that's negative 4 plus 6. So you get 2 over 2, which equals 1. Remember I said I want you to use the first point. So it's y minus the second one equals the slope times x minus the x, which is that. This becomes a plus, this becomes a plus, and that is point slope. Okay? That's the first one. The second one, you're just going to distribute and get y by itself. Okay? So that's the first one. So I'm going to get y plus 5 is equal to 1x plus 4. 1 times 4. Then I'm going to subtract 5. So I'm going to get y equals x minus 1. And then I'm done. Any questions on how to do point slope or slope intercept form? Excuse me. Let's go on. What are the three forms of a line? Well, one of them is point slope. So y minus y1. The second one is slope-intercept form. And the third one is standard form. We didn't really talk about this one, okay, but you need to know all three. Now I'm going to introduce tomorrow's topic right now. So copy this down. You had the quadratic equation and you had parabolas, okay? So two formulas you need to know. Number one, x equals negative b over 2a. That's going to give you your vertex. And then x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared, or ac, all divided by 2a. Okay, those are the two formulas you need to memorize. Now, some things you need to know. If a is positive, if A is positive, your parabola looks like that. So you will have a minimum at the vertex. If A is negative, like this one, then it's going to go down, and you're going to have your vertex as a maximum. Write that down. So if it goes down, that'll be the highest point. If it goes up, that'll be the lowest point. Those are called max and min. Okay, so let's work this one. First one is find the vertex. So you got A, B, and C. Now let's plug it in. X equals negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C, all divided by 2 times A. When you do that, you're going to get negative 6 plus or minus 36. This becomes 2 negatives, so that's 4 times 3 is 12. So that's plus 12 times 1 is still 12. Okay, don't add that 1. All divided by negative 6. This right here gives you, what does it give you? 48. So you're going to have negative 6 plus the square root of 48 divided by negative 6. And then you're going to have positive 6, or rather negative 6, minus the square root of 48, all divided by negative 6. Now you got to use your calculator on this, okay? These are your x-intercepts. Write that down, x-intercept. Now how would you do this? Well, you'd have to take 48 and hit the square root button. My calculator, I got to do the square root of 48. So I get 6.9. So it's going to be negative 6 plus 6.9 divided by negative 6. And negative 6 minus 6.9 divided by negative 6. So you got to work these out. I'm only going to do one of these. A negative 6 plus 6 is only going to be 0.9. So 0.9 divided by negative 6 would be that one. So 0.9 divided by 6. And that's going to be, my intercept is going to be 0.15. So it's going to be a negative 0.15. That's your x-intercept. Okay? And then you got to graph it. All right, so the vertex, remember you make a table, and the vertex goes in the middle. So put a V right there. All right, I got to make this a little smaller. So you're going to get x equals, right here, x equals negative b over 2 times a. So that gives me a negative 6 over a negative 6, which gives me a 1. So the vertex is a 1 and something else. Now you got to plug it into your formula right here. So 1 times 1 is 1. You got to square it. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. 6 times 1 is 6. And plus 1. So that's 7 minus 3 is 4. That's your vertex. Remember? And then you got to graph it. You got to back off. And you got to go forward. And then graph it. All right? That's what you're going to be doing tomorrow. All right, let's keep moving. We're going to turn our attention now to college algebra. Oh, and by the way, these are your worksheets. So if you're at home, or if you look in the folder and they're not there, they're right here on the video. And that means you can play the video by date and copy it down, okay? No excuses. All right, let's talk about college algebra. This one right here says write an augmented matrix. Augmented means you use the numbers. So 5, negative 2, negative 6, negative 1, 5, and 15. Now we're going to go ahead and change these to 1s and make that a 0, and that will be row echelon form. Well, what I would do is reverse these. I would move the second one to the top, which you're allowed to do, and move this one to the bottom. Okay? Now, I would multiply this one by 5 and add it to that one. So the top one stays the same. but the bottom one is going to change. So this times this is going to be negative 5 plus 5 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25 minus 2, I guess, is 23. And then 5 times 15, I think, is 75. And 75 minus 6, when you think about that, I think that's 69. Okay? Now, you want this one to be a positive, so I would go ahead and change all of these signs. So change this to a plus, a minus, and a minus. Okay, you can do that. And then this one you're going to divide by 23, and I think 23 is going to go evenly. So your final answer is going to be 1, negative 5, negative 15, 0, 1, and 3. And there it is. So to solve this one, you have x and y. So y is equal to 3. Now to find this one, you're going to say x, 1x, minus 5y is equal to negative 15. You're going to plug in 3 right here. So you're going to get x minus 15 is equal to a negative 15. You're going to add 15 and get 0, I believe. So x is going to be 0. And that's how you do it. And that's how you write an augmented matrix. And that's how you solve it. Okay? I've used row echelon form on that. Let me see if I can focus this. Okay, today you have a worksheet which looks like this. I want you to do whatever it says. So write an augmented matrix. That means you write the numbers. Okay? 5, negative 2, negative 6, negative 1, 5, and 15. We just worked this one. And then I want you to solve it. Okay? This one right here wants you to write an equation. So this is going to be 3x plus 4y is equal to 1. This one's going to be negative 3x plus 2y is equal to 23. I want you to work the matrix the same way I did it just a moment ago. Now if you need the worksheet, it's right here. All right, there it is. Have a good morning, and I'll see you guys in class.